Who's ready to dive into the fascinating world of xenobiology? Professor Zix9 chirped, his antennae wiggling with excitement. The classroom of alien students stared back at him with a mixture of trepidation and curiosity. Their various appendages and sensory organs twitched nervously. At the back of the room, Sarah Johnson, the lone human exchange student at the Galactic University of Sciences, couldn't help but roll her eyes. She had been excited about this class, hoping to learn about exotic alien life forms. Instead, they'd spent the last 3 weeks studying the terrifying biology of moss. Today, Zix9 continued, oblivious to Sarah's boredom. We will be conducting a thrilling experiment on cellular respiration in Jovian cloud spores. A collective groan echoed through the room, a harmonious symphony of clicks, whistles, and electromagnetic pulses. Sarah's groan, however, was loud and decidedly human. "Is there a problem, Miss Johnson?" Zix9 asked, his compound eyes focusing on her with what passed for concern among the Aryans. Sarah straightened up, realizing she had drawn attention to herself. No problemi, professor. It's just, well, we've been studying single-celled organisms for weeks now. I was hoping we might move on to something a bit more complex." The class fell silent. It was the kind of silence that screamed, "Oh no, the death world has got ideas." Zix9's antenna drooped slightly. "More complex, Miss Johnson. I assure you, Jovian cloud spores are incredibly intricate life forms. Their respiratory process alone is a marvel of—" Yeah, I'm sure they're fascinating," Sarah interrupted, instantly regretting her words as she saw her classmates recoil in horror at her audacity. "I mean, what I meant to say was maybe we could study something a bit closer to home, like, oh, I don't know, human biology?" The collective gasp from her classmates was so forceful, it nearly sucked all the air out of the room. Vusion in the front row fainted, their gelatinous body making a soft splat on the floor. Zix9's mandibles clicked rapidly, a sign of extreme stress. Human biology? But that's far too dangerous. The ethical committees would never approve such a risky experiment. Sarah couldn't help but laugh, which only served to terrify her classmates further. Dangerous? Come on, proof it. It's just a bit of DNA extraction. We did this stuff in high school back on Earth. The professor's antennae stood straight up in shock. You performed genetic experiments on yourselves in your adolescent education facilities? Well, yeah, Sarah shrugged. It's not a big... Look, I'll show you. It's perfectly safe. Before anyone could stop her, Sarah bounded up to the front of the room. Her steps echoed ominously in the now terrified silence. She grabbed a nearby beaker, swished some water in her mouth, and spat it back out. "There," she said, holding up the beaker. One sample of human cells, ready for DNA extraction. The class watched in horror as Sarah casually manhandled what they had been taught was an incredibly delicate and dangerous procedure. A Neptunian in the second row began to bubble furiously, a sure sign of impending panic. "Miss Johnson, please put that down. We don't have the proper containment protocols in place for—" "Relax, Prof," Sarah said, already moving towards the DNA extraction machine in the corner. "I'll just pop it in here and we'll have some human DNA to study in no time." Before anyone could stop her, she'd inserted the sample and pressed what she assumed was the start button. The machine hummed to life, lights flashing across its surface. Sarah grinned, turning back to the class. Nothing to worry about. Now, who wants to learn about human genetic structure? Her question was met with a sea of terrified alien faces. Well, faces might be a bit of a stretch for some of the more exotic species, but the fear was universal. Suddenly, the machine behind her began to beep frantically. Red lights flashed, and a robotic voice announced, "Warning, anomalous structure detected. Potential biohazard. Containment protocols engaged." The room erupted into chaos. Students scrambled for the exit, some leaving scorch marks on the floor in their haste. The Venian who had fainted earlier oozed under the door, apparently regaining consciousness just in time to flee. Sarah stood in the middle of it all, looking bewildered. Professor, is this normal?" Zix9 was frantically pressing buttons on the analyzer. "Normal? Miss Johnson, your DNA just crashed our most advanced genetic analyzer. It's reading your genetic structure as some kind of off-hyper-evolved super predator," Sarah finished, blinking. "Oh, is that bad?" Just then, the classroom door slid open, revealing a squad of heavily armed security robots. Their sensors scanned the room before focusing on Sarah. "Threat detected," the lead robot intoned. "Prepare for neutralization." Sarah raised her hands. Whoa, let's not get hasty here. I'm just a student. Professor Zix9 scuttled between Sarah and the robots. Wait, she's not a threat. Well, not an intentional one at least. This is merely a scientific anomaly. Yes, that's it. The robots paused, their processors working as they analyzed the situation. Finally, the lead robot spoke again. New directive, escort unclassified life form to containment for further study. Sarah's eyes widened. Containment study? Oh no, I've got a hot date tonight. I'm not missing out on trying slop cream sundaes just because my DNA is too spicy for your machines. With a move that seemed impossibly fast to everyone else in the room, Sarah dove over the nearest lab table, grabbed a beaker of something fizzy, and tossed it at the robots. The liquid sizzled as it hit their metal chassis, causing them to short-circuit in a spectacular display of sparks. Sorry about that, Sarah called over her shoulder as she sprinted for the door. I'll make it up next class, Professor. Maybe we can study something less exciting, like quantum physics or black hole manipulation. As Sarah disappeared down the hallway, the sound of her laughter echoed off the walls. Professor Zix9 slumped against his desk, looking at the still sparking remains of the security robots and the genetic analyzer emitting a worrying amount of smoke. Perhaps, he muttered to himself, it's time I considered teaching a nice, safe subject like antimatter containment or supernova surfing. Word spread quickly through the Galactic University of Sciences. By lunchtime, the cafeteria was buzzing with rumors and speculation about the morning's events. Species from all corners of the galaxy huddled in groups, their voices a cacophony of clicks, whistles, and electromagnetic pulses. Sarah, blissfully unaware of the stir she'd caused, strolled into the cafeteria with a spring in her step. She headed straight for the food synthesizers, humming a tune that sounded suspiciously like Another One Bites the Dust, as she punched in her order, extra spicy nebula noodles with a side of quantum qual. She couldn't help but overhear the conversation at the nearest table. I heard she extracted her own DNA with her bare hands, a Martian whispered, his eye stalks quivering with excitement. That's nothing, a Jovian cloud being puffed. I heard she drank a vial of pure hydrochloric acid as a chaser. Sarah rolled her eyes as she collected her tray. Honestly, the rumor mill in this place was worse than a black hole. It just kept sucking in more and more outlandish stories. She spotted an empty table and made her way over, pointedly ignoring the way the crowd parted before her like she was Moses and they were the Red Sea. As she sat down, she couldn't help but notice the sudden silence that fell over the cafeteria. Oh, for crying out loud, she muttered, then, raising her voice, she addressed the room at large. You know, it's rude to stare. Haven't you all seen a human eat before? A brave or foolish Neptunian floated over to her table. Is it true? They burbled. Did you really crash the genetic analyzer with your super predator DNA? Sarah side-twirled her fork in her noodles. Look, it was just a routine experiment. Not my fault if your tech can't handle a little terrestrial spice. The Neptunian's liquid form rippled with what might have been a shudder. But the security robots. You defeated them single-handedly. Defeated? Sarah scoffed. Please, I just gave them an impromptu bath. They looked like they needed it all dusty and whatnot. A murmur ran through the crowd. Sarah could practically see the new rumors forming. By dinner, they'd probably be saying she'd reprogrammed the robots with her mind or something equally ridiculous. Just then, a familiar figure scuttled into the cafeteria. Professor Zix9 looked even more frazzled than usual, his antenna drooping and his exoskeleton slightly singed. Miss Johnson, he chittered, approaching her table. I've been looking for you. Sarah swallowed a mouthful of noodles. Hey, Prof, sorry about the mess earlier. How much do I owe you for the repairs? Zix9 waved a claw dismissively. No, that's not why I'm here. I've come to offer you an apology for the incident. I should never have dismissed your interest in human biology. Sarah blinked. Wait, really? Yes, he admitted, his mandibles clicking with embarrassment. In fact, I've arranged for you to conduct a special research project on human genetics, provided you follow all safety protocols and don't, how shall I put it, cause any more interruptions. A wide grin spread across Sarah's face. You mean it? That's awesome. Thanks, Professor. Zix9's antennae twitched. You're welcome. And Miss Johnson, yes, please try to avoid causing another intergalactic incident. For the sake of my sanity, if nothing else. Sarah laughed, her voice ringing through the cafeteria. No promises. As Zix9 left, Sarah dug into her noodles with renewed vigor. This was turning out to be an eventful semester after all. Sarah was practically bouncing as she made her way to the human genetics lab the next morning. Professor Zix9 had gone all out to set up a new workspace for her. The lab was located in a quiet corner of the university, its exterior sleek and unassuming, but Sarah could tell from the intricate patterns of light streaming from its windows that it was anything but ordinary. She keyed in her access code and the doors slid open with a softness. Inside, the lab was a high-tech wonderland. Sleek workstations lined the walls, each equipped with advanced alien technology modified for human biology studies. It was like a science fiction movie set, only this time she was the star. Sarah's eyes lit up as she took in the equipment, spectrometers, centrifuges, and holographic DNA models that floated in midair. She practically skipped over to her desk, where a fresh sample of her own DNA awaited her. Zix9 had taken the liberty of preparing it for her study. Time to make some science, Sarah declared enthusiastically as she set to work. She began by calibrating the holographic DNA model, adjusting settings to fit her specific genetic material. As the model began to spin and reveal the intricate double helix structure, Sarah marveled at how beautifully alien it looked, despite being so fundamentally human. "All right, let's see what makes us tick," she muttered, inserting her DNA sample into the analyzer. The machine whirred to life, lights flashing rhythmically. The door slid open behind her, and a tall reptilian figure entered the lab. It was Trixer, the university's resident xenobiologist, known for his no-nonsense attitude and highly specialized knowledge. Trixer's scaly skin reflected the light as he approached Sarah's workstation. "Miss Johnson, I see you're hard at work," he said, his voice a low rumble. "Professor Zix9 has briefed me on your project. I'll be overseeing the research to ensure everything adheres to intergalactic safety standards." Sarah turned, her enthusiasm momentarily dimmed by the presence of the no-nonsense Trixer. "Oh hey, Trixer. I didn't expect you here so soon. I was informed that you have a propensity for unorthodox methods," Trixer replied dryly. "I'm here to ensure that your research doesn't inadvertently cause another crisis." Sarah smirked. "I promise I'll be on my best behavior." "So, are you here to help or just to supervise?" Trixer's eyes narrowed slightly, but he nodded. "A bit of both. Let's begin by reviewing your methodology." As Trixer scrutinized Sarah's setup, she worked on running a preliminary analysis of her DNA. The holographic model projected a detailed view of her genetic sequence, and Sarah began examining the variations that distinguish her from other species. "So, what's the verdict?" Sarah asked, glancing over at Trixer. Trixer hummed thoughtfully as he examined the data. Human genetics are indeed quite complex. However, the primary interest here is understanding the unique aspects of your DNA that might be responsible for the, shall we say, special characteristics you exhibited yesterday. Sarah nodded, her curiosity piqued. "Yeah, I'm wondering about that too. What makes my DNA so?" The analyzer beeped, signaling the completion of its scan. The holographic model displayed a series of patterns that seemed to pulsate with an otherworldly rhythm. Trixer's eyes widened slightly, and he adjusted his scanner to get a closer look. "Well, this is intriguing," Trixer admitted. "Your DNA exhibits a level of variability that is unusually high compared to other species. There are several sequences here that resemble, well, let's say they are highly adaptive." "Adaptive?" Sarah echoed, raising an eyebrow. "In what way?" "Your genetic structure seems to have a remarkable capacity for rapid adaptation to different environments," Trixer explained. "It's almost as if your DNA is designed to be highly versatile. This could explain your unexpected reactions to certain stimuli." Sarah grinned, feeling a swell of pride. "So, it's like my DNA is just trying to keep up with all the crazy stuff in the galaxy?" "Precisely," Trixer said, looking slightly impressed. "It's not often we encounter a species with such dynamic genetic properties. This could open up new avenues of research into human adaptability and resilience." Sarah's eyes sparkled with excitement. "This is amazing. So, does that mean I'm like a genetic anomaly or something?" Trixer tilted his head. "Not an anomaly, but certainly an interesting subject for further study. Your genetic profile could provide valuable insights into human adaptability and perhaps even broader principles of genetic resilience." As Sarah absorbed this, the door slid open once more, and Professor Zix9 entered, his antennae twitching with renewed enthusiasm. "Excellent work, Miss Johnson. I see Trixer has been impressed by your findings." "Impressed?" Trixer echoed, glancing at Zix9. That might be putting it mildly. This research could lead to significant breakthroughs in understanding the adaptability of organic life forms. Zix9 beamed. See, Miss Johnson, I told you your work would be worth it. I'll make sure to present your findings at the next intergalactic conference. We might have just made history. Sarah couldn't help but beam with pride. Thanks, Professor. And thank you, Trixer. I'll make sure to keep things on track. As Trixer and Zix9 left the lab, Sarah felt a new sense of purpose. Her research was not only fascinating, but potentially groundbreaking. She turned back to her workstation, ready to dive deeper into the mysteries of her own genetics. Weeks passed, and Sarah found herself increasingly immersed in her research on human genetics. Her lab was a hub of activity, with students and researchers from various species stopping by to marvel at her findings. The buzz around her work had reached a crescendo. It wasn't long before the intergalactic conference was upon them. The Galactic Conference of Sciences was held at a grand space station orbiting a shimmering blue gas giant. The space station was a marvel of technology, with transparent domes offering breathtaking views of the nebulae and stars beyond. Sarah was both excited and nervous as she prepared for her presentation. Professor Zix9 was by her side, his antennae twitching with anticipation. Remember, Miss Johnson, this is a significant opportunity. Your presentation could pave the way for new research directions across the galaxy. I know, Professor, Sarah said, trying to calm her nerves. I'll do my best. The main auditorium of the conference was a vast, circular chamber filled with representatives from every corner of the galaxy. Holographic projectors floated in mid-air, displaying real-time translations of the speaker's words. Sarah took a deep breath as she approached the podium, her heart racing. As she began her presentation, Sarah detailed the findings of her research, the remarkable adaptability of human genetics, the high variability in her DNA, and its potential implications for understanding resilience in extreme environments. She used holographic models to illustrate her points, showing how human genes could rapidly adapt to new challenges. The audience was captivated. Even the usually stoic Trixer was visibly impressed, his scales shifting through various shades of color. Sarah fielded questions from delegates of numerous species, each query revealing a deeper interest in her work. One particularly curious attendee was a sleek, silver-skinned alien named Zyron, known for their expertise in xenogenomics. Zyron approached Sarah after the presentation with a look of intrigue. Miss Johnson, your research is truly groundbreaking, Zyron said, their voice smooth and melodic. I've never seen genetic adaptability displayed so vividly. It could have profound implications for our understanding of life across the galaxy. Thank you, Sarah said, smiling. I'm thrilled that it's resonating with so many people. Zyron's eyes glowed with excitement. I'd like to discuss a potential collaboration between our research teams. We've been working on similar adaptive genetic studies, and combining our findings could lead to significant advances. Sarah's eyes widened. That sounds incredible. I'd love to collaborate. As the conference continued, Sarah found herself at the center of a whirlwind of discussions and proposals. The interest in her work was overwhelming, and she realized that her research had struck a chord with the scientific community. Later that evening, as the conference gala unfolded, Sarah and Zix9 mingled with other attendees. The gala was a dazzling affair, with music and light shows from different cultures creating an otherworldly atmosphere. Sarah caught up with old friends and made new ones, all the while reflecting on how far she had come. At one point, she spotted a familiar face in the crowd. It was Vusion, the gelatinous alien who had fainted during her first class. Vusion approached cautiously, their body rippling with what seemed to be a mix of embarrassment and curiosity. Miss Johnson, Vusion said, their voice a gentle hum. I wanted to apologize for my earlier reaction. Your research is indeed fascinating, and I must admit, I was wrong to underestimate the impact of human biology. Sarah chuckled. No hard feelings, Vusion. I'm just glad you're here and that my research is making waves. As the gala drew to a close, Zix9 approached Sarah with a triumphant look. Miss Johnson, I believe we've made a significant impact here. The feedback has been overwhelmingly positive, and the Galactic Science Council is keen to explore further studies on adaptability. Sarah beamed with pride. That's fantastic news. I couldn't have done it without your support, Professor. Zix9's antennae twitched in satisfaction. And I must say, your efforts have turned a potentially dangerous situation into a remarkable scientific breakthrough. You've truly demonstrated the spirit of exploration and curiosity that defines us all. As the conference wrapped up, Sarah felt a renewed sense of purpose. The journey had been challenging, but she had not only navigated the complexities of alien life, but had also contributed something meaningful to the galaxy's understanding of human biology. She left the space station with a sense of accomplishment, ready to tackle new challenges and opportunities. The universe was vast and full of mysteries, and she was eager to continue exploring its wonders. Back at the Galactic University of Sciences, the newly established Department of Death World Studies was abuzz with activity. Sarah was settling into her new role as the head of the department, and her classes were now among the most popular on campus. Students from all species were eager to learn about human culture, biology, and the quirks that made humans unique. One day, as Sarah was preparing for her Humans 101 class, she received a message from Dean Zop 7. The message was an invitation to address the university's annual celebration of interspecies cooperation. The event was a grand affair, featuring performances, exhibitions, and speeches from notable figures. Sarah was both honored and nervous. She had never spoken at such a high-profile event before. As she stood at the podium on the day of the celebration, she looked out at the diverse audience of students, faculty, and dignitaries from across the galaxy. "Greetings, everyone," Sarah began, her voice steady. "It's an honor to speak at this celebration of interspecies cooperation. When I first arrived at this university, I was a bit of a curiosity, a human on an alien campus. But over time, I've come to realize that we all have something valuable to share with one another." She paused, looking out at the audience. "My journey here has been filled with challenges and surprises, but it's also been incredibly rewarding. I've learned so much about the diverse life forms that inhabit our galaxy, and I've been fortunate to share some of what makes humanity unique." The audience listened intently as Sarah spoke about the importance of understanding and embracing differences. She shared anecdotes from her classes, highlighting the curiosity and enthusiasm of her students. Through our shared experiences, Sarah concluded, we've shown that despite our differences, we can find common ground and build connections. It's this spirit of cooperation that will help us navigate the complexities of the universe and make it a better place for all. The audience erupted into applause, and Sarah felt a surge of pride. As she left the stage, Professor Zix9 and several other faculty members greeted her with warm congratulations. "Well done, Miss Johnson," Zix9 said, his antennae wiggling in delight. "Your speech was inspiring. I believe you've captured the essence of what we're striving for here." Sarah smiled, feeling a deep sense of fulfillment. "Thank you, Professor. I couldn't have done it without the support of everyone here." As the celebration continued, Sarah found herself reflecting on her journey. She had come to the Galactic University of Sciences as a curious human eager to explore the unknown. Along the way, she had faced challenges, made new friends, and discovered that even the most unexpected experiences could lead to meaningful discoveries. The galaxy was vast and full of wonders, and Sarah was excited to continue her exploration. She knew that the path ahead would be filled with new challenges and opportunities, but she was ready to face them with the same curiosity and determination that had brought her this far. As the festivities continued into the night, Sarah looked out at the stars beyond the space station, feeling a profound sense of connection to the universe. She had found her place in this extraordinary tapestry of life, and she was eager to see where the journey would take her next. As the new academic year began, Sarah found herself at the helm of a rapidly growing department. The success of her course and the enthusiastic response from students had led to an influx of new exchange students eager to experience human culture firsthand. Her schedule was packed with lectures, workshops, and meetings with researchers from across the galaxy. One morning, Sarah was preparing for a special lecture on human innovation when she received a message from Professor Zix9. The subject line read, "Urgent, potential discovery." Curious, Sarah opened the message. Zix9 explained that a recent deep space exploration mission had stumbled upon an anomalous signal emanating from a previously uncharted region of the galaxy. The signal appeared to contain complex patterns that resembled a form of communication, and the scientists involved were eager to investigate. Sarah's excitement was palpable. "This could be an incredible opportunity," she said to Zix9, who had arrived at her office to discuss the message in person. Indeed, Zix9 agreed, his antennae twitching with anticipation. "The Galactic Science Council has authorized a collaborative expedition to investigate the source of the signal. They've requested your participation due to your unique perspective on human curiosity and innovation." Sarah's eyes sparkled with enthusiasm. "I'd be thrilled to be part of this expedition." It's the kind of adventure I came to the galaxy for. A few weeks later, Sarah found herself aboard the research vessel Celestial Voyager, a sleek spacecraft designed for deep space exploration. The crew included scientists, engineers, and a few diplomats from various species, all working together with a common goal to uncover the source of the mysterious signal. As they approached the coordinates of the signal, the excitement on board was palpable. Sarah, along with Zix-9 and the other scientists, monitored the data streams and analyzed the signal's characteristics. The signal appeared to be a form of structured communication, with patterns suggesting a sophisticated language. "Look at this," Sarah said, pointing to a holographic display. The patterns in the signal seem to have repeating elements, almost like a grammar structure. "If we can decode this, we might be able to understand the message." Zix-9's compound eyes focused on the display. "Fascinating. This could be one of the most significant discoveries in interstellar communication. It's like finding a new language." As the Celestial Voyager drew closer to the signal source, the crew's anticipation reached its peak. They arrived at a region of space shrouded in nebulae, with the signal source located on a small, rocky planet orbiting a distant star. The landing was smooth, and the team disembarked to investigate the signal's origin. Sarah, Zix-9, and a team of scientists made their way to a cavernous structure that seemed to be the source of the signal. The structure was ancient, with intricate carvings and symbols etched into its walls. As they explored the cavern, Sarah's heart raced with excitement. "This place is incredible. It's like stepping into a piece of ancient history." Zix-9's antennae twitched in agreement. The complexity of these carvings suggests a highly advanced civilization. "We need to be cautious and respectful of their legacy." The team set up their equipment and began to analyze the symbols. Hours turned into days as they worked tirelessly to decode the communication. Sarah's expertise in pattern recognition and linguistic analysis proved invaluable, and soon they made a breakthrough. "This symbol here," Sarah said, pointing to a series of glyphs. "It seems to represent a concept of peace and cooperation. The message appears to be an invitation to connect and share knowledge." The discovery was met with awe and excitement. The team sent a transmission back to the Galactic Science Council, updating them on their findings. The message was clear. The ancient civilization had sought to establish connections with other intelligent species, sharing their knowledge and fostering cooperation. Upon returning to the Celestial Voyager, the crew celebrated their success. Sarah felt a deep sense of fulfillment, knowing that their work had uncovered a significant part of the galaxy's history and that their discovery could pave the way for future interstellar relations. Back at the Galactic University of Sciences, Sarah was greeted as a hero. Her findings were published and discussed in academic circles across the galaxy, and her contributions to the expedition were celebrated in a grand ceremony. As she stood before the assembled audience, Sarah reflected on her journey. She had come to the galaxy as an exchange student, navigating a world of aliens and unknowns. Now she was a recognized leader in the field of interspecies communication and exploration. Professor Zix-9 approached her after the ceremony, his antennae vibrating with pride. "Miss Johnson, your work has not only advanced our understanding of interstellar communication, but has also strengthened the bonds between species. You've shown that curiosity and collaboration can overcome even the greatest challenges." Sarah smiled, feeling a deep sense of gratitude. "Thank you, Professor. This journey has been incredible, and I'm excited to see where it leads next." As Sarah looked out at the stars, she knew that her adventures were far from over. The galaxy was vast and full of mysteries waiting to be uncovered. She was ready to continue her exploration, driven by the same insatiable curiosity that had brought her this far. And so, with a heart full of wonder and a spirit eager for discovery, Sarah Johnson prepared for the next chapter of her interstellar journey, knowing that the universe held endless possibilities and opportunities for those willing to explore its depths. With the success of the recent expedition, Sarah Johnson's reputation continued to grow. The Galactic University of Sciences was abuzz with her discoveries, and Sarah had become a sought-after speaker for conferences and seminars. Her role as a teaching assistant in Death World Studies had expanded into a more prominent position, with her influence reaching across the galaxy. One day, Sarah received an unexpected invitation from the Galactic Council. The Council wanted her to participate in a high-level diplomatic mission aimed at establishing formal relations with a newly discovered species, the Krylox. The Krylox were rumored to be an advanced, enigmatic species with a unique approach to diplomacy and technology. Sarah accepted the invitation with enthusiasm. She had always been fascinated by the concept of interspecies diplomacy and saw this as a chance to make a significant impact. The diplomatic team, which included representatives from various species, gathered at the Galactic Council's headquarters. The Krylox delegation had already arrived and was waiting in a high-tech, multi-species conference room. Sarah, dressed in her best diplomatic attire, joined the team and prepared for the meeting. As Sarah entered the room, she was struck by the Krylox's appearance. They were tall, with bioluminescent skin that changed color in response to their emotions. Their eyes were multifaceted, giving them a constantly shifting gaze that seemed to take in everything at once. The Krylox ambassador, known as Zalera, greeted the team with a graceful bow. "Welcome, esteemed delegates. We are honored by your visit." Sarah took a deep breath and stepped forward. "Thank you, Ambassador Zalera. I'm Sarah Johnson, representing humanity. We are excited to learn more about your culture and explore the possibilities of collaboration." Zalera's bioluminescence flickered in a pattern that Sarah interpreted as a positive response. "We have heard much about humanity's curiosity and resilience. We are eager to share our knowledge and learn from yours." The meeting began with a series of presentations. Each species presented their technological advancements and cultural practices, aiming to find common ground and mutual interests. Sarah's presentation focused on humanity's achievements in space exploration and technological innovation, emphasizing their commitment to peaceful exploration and cooperation. Zalera listened attentively, their colors shifting with each new piece of information. When it was their turn to speak, Zalera explained the Krylox's unique approach to diplomacy. They used a form of energy-based communication that involved transmitting emotional and intellectual states through color patterns and rhythmic pulses of light. "It's fascinating," Sarah said, her curiosity piqued. "Can you give us an example of how this communication works?" Zalera nodded and activated a device that projected a holographic display of intricate light patterns. The display was accompanied by a rhythmic hum that resonated with the room's atmosphere. As Sarah watched, she realized that the Krylox's communication was not just about exchanging information, but also about creating a shared emotional experience. The patterns conveyed complex ideas and feelings, creating a profound sense of connection. "This is incredible," Sarah said. "It's like experiencing a conversation on a completely new level." The meeting continued for several hours, with both sides exploring various aspects of their cultures and technologies. By the end of the day, a mutual agreement had been reached to establish formal diplomatic relations and initiate collaborative projects in research and development. As the delegates prepared to depart, Zalera approached Sarah. "Your presence has been instrumental in fostering this new relationship between our species. We look forward to working with humanity and exploring the possibilities of our shared future." Sarah smiled, feeling a deep sense of accomplishment. "Thank you, Ambassador Zalera. I'm excited about the opportunities that lie ahead and the chance to build meaningful connections." Upon returning to the Galactic University, Sarah was met with congratulations and accolades. Her role in the diplomatic mission had been seen as a significant achievement, and she was praised for her contributions to interspecies relations. As she settled back into her routine, Sarah reflected on her experiences. The diplomatic mission had reinforced her belief in the power of curiosity and collaboration. It had shown her that even in the vastness of the galaxy, there were opportunities for connection and understanding. With renewed energy, Sarah continued her work at the university, teaching her classes and participating in research projects. The Death World Studies Department thrived under her leadership, and she was proud of the progress that had been made. One day, as she was preparing for a lecture on human technological advancements, Sarah received a message from the Galactic Council. They wanted her to lead a new initiative focused on fostering interspecies collaboration and understanding through educational exchanges. Sarah was thrilled by the opportunity. It was a chance to build on the successes of her previous work and create new pathways for exploration and cooperation. As she prepared for her new role, Sarah couldn't help but feel grateful for the journey she had embarked upon. From her first day at the Galactic University to her role in high-level diplomacy, she had grown and learned in ways she had never imagined. The galaxy was full of wonders and challenges, and Sarah was ready to embrace them all. With her insatiable curiosity and boundless enthusiasm, she knew that the adventure was just beginning. And so, with a heart full of excitement and a spirit eager for discovery, Sarah Johnson continued her journey through the stars, ready to turn every challenge into an opportunity and every encounter into a chance for growth and understanding. Sarah Johnson's new role at the Galactic University of Sciences was both exhilarating and demanding. Leading the initiative on interspecies collaboration, she found herself at the forefront of a new era of exploration and understanding. Her days were filled with meetings, lectures, and coordination with various species, each with their own unique perspectives and needs. One morning, Sarah was preparing for a special workshop on xenobiology when her communicator buzzed with an urgent message. It was from Professor Zix9. "Miss Johnson, we have an unexpected situation," Zix9's message began. "The Krylox have requested an urgent meeting. It appears they've encountered an anomaly in their research that they believe could affect our collaborative projects. Please come to the conference room as soon as possible." Sarah's curiosity was piqued. The Krylox had been cooperative and meticulous in their research, so an anomaly sounded serious. She quickly gathered her notes and made her way to the conference room. Upon arrival, she found Zix9 and several Krylox representatives already in discussion. Zalera, the Krylox ambassador, greeted Sarah with a concerned expression. "Thank you for coming, Miss Johnson," Zalera said. "We've encountered a phenomenon in our energy-based communication system that we can't fully understand. We believe it might be linked to recent interspecies experiments, and we need your expertise." Sarah nodded, her mind racing with possibilities. "Tell me more about this phenomenon." Zalera projected a holographic display showing a series of unusual energy patterns. The patterns were erratic and unpredictable, unlike anything Sarah had seen before. The Krylox's bioluminescence pulsed rapidly as they discussed the issue. "We have detected these patterns during routine tests of our communication system," Zalera explained. "The patterns seem to interfere with our ability to transmit and receive information accurately. We fear it could impact our collaborative efforts if not addressed." Sarah studied the display closely. This could be a result of a feedback loop or interference from an external source. "Have you checked for any anomalies in your equipment or environmental conditions?" The Krylox technicians nodded. "We've ruled out equipment malfunctions and environmental factors. The issue appears to be more complex." Sarah considered their data and proposed a plan. "We should conduct a series of controlled experiments to isolate the variables and determine the cause of the interference. We might need to involve experts from both our research teams to get to the bottom of this." The Krylox representatives agreed to the plan, and the team set up a series of experiments to analyze the energy patterns and their effects. Sarah worked closely with the Krylox technicians, combining their expertise with human analytical methods. As the days went by, the team made progress in understanding the anomaly. They discovered that the interference was caused by an unanticipated interaction between Krylox energy communication and a specific frequency emitted by a newly developed piece of human technology. Once the source of the interference was identified, the team worked on recalibrating both systems to prevent future issues. The solution required adjustments to the technology and a new protocol for communication between species. During the final phase of the project, Sarah and Zalera held a joint press conference to announce the resolution of the issue and the successful collaboration between their species. The conference was attended by representatives from various species, eager to hear about the breakthrough. "Through our combined efforts, we have resolved a significant challenge and strengthened our partnership," Sarah said. "This experience has shown us the value of collaboration and the importance of addressing challenges together." Zalera added, "Our ability to overcome this anomaly is a testament to our commitment to working together and building a brighter future for all species." The announcement was met with enthusiasm and praise from the galaxy's scientific community. The successful resolution of the anomaly reinforced the importance of interspecies cooperation and the potential for achieving great things through teamwork. As Sarah returned to her regular duties, she felt a renewed sense of purpose. The experience had deepened her understanding of the complexities of interspecies communication and highlighted the importance of perseverance and collaboration. With the interspecies initiative in full swing, Sarah continued to expand her efforts. She organized new research projects, facilitated cross-cultural exchanges, and worked on developing educational programs that promoted understanding and cooperation. One of the highlights of her work was the creation of a new interspecies research center dedicated to exploring the potential of combining different species technologies and knowledge. The center became a hub of innovation and discovery, attracting researchers and students from across the galaxy. As Sarah looked back on her journey, she marveled at how far she had come. From being an outsider to becoming a central figure in fostering interspecies relations, she had achieved more than she had ever imagined. The galaxy was evolving, and Sarah was proud to be a part of that transformation. She knew there were still challenges ahead, but she faced them with confidence and determination. Her work was far from over, and there were always new horizons to explore. With each day, Sarah continued to push the boundaries of knowledge and understanding, bridging gaps between species and creating a more connected and collaborative galaxy. And as she stood on the threshold of new discoveries, Sarah knew that the adventure was just beginning. The universe was full of possibilities, and she was ready to embrace them all with curiosity, creativity, and an unyielding spirit of exploration. The Galactic University of Sciences was abuzz with anticipation as the date for the annual Galactic Symposium approached. This prestigious event brought together scientists, researchers, and scholars from all corners of the galaxy to share their latest discoveries and discuss the future of interspecies collaboration. Sarah Johnson, now a prominent figure in the field of Deathworld studies, was preparing for her keynote speech. The symposium was a chance to showcase the progress made in bridging the gaps between species and to highlight the groundbreaking work of her department. In the days leading up to the symposium, Sarah worked tirelessly on her presentation. She wanted to make sure it was not only informative but also engaging, reflecting the strides made in her unique field of study. Her speech would cover the advancements in understanding Deathworld species, the integration of human research with alien technology, and the importance of fostering interspecies dialogue. As the day of the symposium arrived, Sarah stood backstage, watching as the crowd of delegates and attendees filled the grand auditorium. The room was a vibrant mix of species, each with their own distinctive features and cultural attire. The anticipation was palpable, and Sarah could feel the excitement in the air. When her turn to speak came, Sarah took a deep breath and stepped onto the stage. The audience was a sea of eyes, with a few species even using specialized visual sensors to better view her presentation. She began her speech with a warm smile, addressing the crowd with confidence. "Welcome, esteemed colleagues and guests," Sarah began. "It's an honor to be here today to share the remarkable progress we've made in understanding and integrating Deathworld species into the broader scientific community." As she spoke, Sarah highlighted various projects and breakthroughs, including the development of new technologies for studying Deathworld biology and the successful implementation of cross-species educational programs. She also showcased some of the most exciting findings from her own research, demonstrating how human traits and behaviors had been integrated into galactic science. Throughout her presentation, Sarah used a mix of holographic visuals and interactive displays, keeping the audience engaged and providing a clear understanding of the complex concepts. The room was filled with nods of approval and expressions of awe as she shared the latest advancements. One of the highlights of her speech was the introduction of a new collaborative project between the Galactic University and several prominent alien research institutions. The project aimed to explore the potential of merging human and alien technologies to address some of the galaxy's most pressing challenges. The project, dubbed the Galactic Unity Initiative, was designed to create a platform for sharing knowledge and resources, fostering collaboration between species, and addressing mutual concerns. The initiative was met with enthusiastic applause and excitement from the audience. Following her keynote, Sarah participated in several panel discussions and workshops, where she delved deeper into specific aspects of her research and answered questions from attendees. The discussions were lively and constructive, with participants sharing their own insights and perspectives. The symposium was a resounding success, and Sarah received numerous accolades for her contributions. She felt a sense of pride and accomplishment as she reflected on how far she had come from her early days as an exchange student. As the event drew to a close, Sarah joined her colleagues and friends for a celebratory reception. The atmosphere was filled with camaraderie and excitement as attendees networked and discussed the future of interspecies collaboration. Professor Zix9 approached Sarah with a broad smile, his antennae wiggling with delight. "Miss Johnson, that was an outstanding presentation. The Galactic Unity Initiative is already generating significant interest. I believe it will mark a new era of cooperation." Sarah beamed with pride. "Thank you, Professor. It's been an incredible journey, and I'm thrilled to see the positive impact our work is having." Zix9 nodded. "Indeed, the symposium has been a great success, and it's clear that our efforts are paving the way for a more connected and collaborative galaxy." As the reception continued, Sarah mingled with delegates and colleagues, discussing new ideas and future projects. The sense of optimism and possibility was contagious, and she felt invigorated by the collective drive to push the boundaries of knowledge and understanding. The Galactic Symposium had reaffirmed her belief in the power of collaboration and the potential for positive change. Sarah knew that there were still challenges ahead, but she was confident that with continued effort and cooperation, the galaxy could overcome any obstacle. As the evening came to a close, Sarah looked out at the star-filled sky and reflected on her journey. From her early days as a curious exchange student to becoming a leading figure in interspecies research, she had grown and evolved in ways she could never have imagined. With the success of the symposium and the launch of the Galactic Unity Initiative, Sarah felt a renewed sense of purpose and excitement for the future. The universe was vast and full of possibilities, and she was ready to embrace them with enthusiasm and determination. The Galactic Unity Initiative gained momentum, and Sarah Johnson was at the heart of its success. The initiative had brought together researchers and institutions from across the galaxy, and collaborative projects were flourishing. One of the most exciting developments was the establishment of the Intergalactic Research Hub, a state-of-the-art facility dedicated to fostering cross-species research and innovation. The hub was equipped with advanced technology and designed to facilitate collaboration between species with diverse scientific backgrounds. Sarah was instrumental in the hub's creation, working closely with engineers and scientists to ensure that it met the needs of its diverse users. The facility featured specialized labs, communication centers, and living quarters designed to accommodate various species and their unique requirements. As the hub opened its doors, researchers from different species began arriving, eager to participate in collaborative projects. The first few months were a whirlwind of activity as teams worked on a range of groundbreaking experiments and studies. Sarah found herself deeply involved in several projects, including a joint research effort with the Krylox to develop new energy-efficient technologies and a partnership with the Neptunians to explore the potential of bioengineering for environmental sustainability. One project that particularly excited Sarah was the development of a new communication protocol that would enable real-time translation of languages and signals between species. The protocol aimed to bridge the gaps in understanding and facilitate smoother interactions in both research and everyday communication. As the hub continued to thrive, Sarah also focused on expanding the educational programs offered by the Galactic University. She introduced new courses and workshops designed to promote interspecies understanding and collaboration, covering topics such as cultural exchange, conflict resolution, and cooperative research methodologies. The success of the Intergalactic Research Hub and the educational programs led to increased interest from other species and institutions. Sarah was frequently invited to speak at conferences and workshops, sharing her experiences and insights with a growing audience. One day, Sarah received an invitation to attend a special ceremony in recognition of her contributions to interspecies research and collaboration. The ceremony was to be held at the Galactic Council's headquarters, and Sarah was honored to be included among the distinguished guests. At the ceremony, Sarah was presented with the Galactic Unity Award, a prestigious honor recognizing her efforts to promote understanding and cooperation between species. The award was a beautiful crystalline plaque, adorned with intricate designs representing the diverse cultures of the galaxy. As Sarah accepted the award, she looked out at the audience and felt a deep sense of gratitude. The journey had been challenging, but the rewards had been extraordinary. She was proud of the progress made and the positive impact on the galaxy. In her acceptance speech, Sarah emphasized the importance of continued collaboration and mutual respect. She spoke about the lessons learned from working with different species and the value of embracing diversity. The galaxy is a rich tapestry of life and knowledge, Sarah said. By working together and sharing our unique perspectives, we can achieve incredible things. Let us continue to build bridges, foster understanding, and create a future where every species can thrive. The audience responded with a standing ovation, and Sarah felt a surge of pride and accomplishment. The ceremony marked a significant milestone in her journey, but she knew there was still much work to be done. As she left the ceremony, Sarah reflected on her experiences and the path ahead. The galaxy was filled with endless possibilities, and she was eager to continue exploring and contributing to its growth and development. With the support of her colleagues, the success of the Intergalactic Research Hub, and the momentum of the Galactic Unity Initiative, Sarah was ready to face new challenges and embrace new opportunities. The adventure was far from over, and she was excited to see where it would lead. As Sarah looked out at the stars, she felt a sense of wonder and anticipation. The universe was vast and full of mysteries, and she was determined to uncover them, one discovery at a time. And so, with renewed energy and a steadfast spirit, Sarah Johnson continued her journey through the galaxy, building bridges, fostering collaboration, and embracing the boundless possibilities that lay ahead. The future was bright, and she was ready to make the most of it. With the success of the Intergalactic Research Hub and the Galactic Unity Initiative, Sarah Johnson found herself at the forefront of a new era in galactic science and cooperation. However, the path to progress was not without its challenges. One of the major obstacles Sarah faced was managing the diverse needs and expectations of the participating species. Each species had its own unique scientific methods, cultural norms, and communication styles, which sometimes led to misunderstandings and conflicts. Sarah implemented a series of workshops and training sessions aimed at improving cross-species communication and collaboration. These sessions were designed to help researchers better understand each other's perspectives and work more effectively together. One workshop, in particular, focused on cultural sensitivity and conflict resolution. It was a dynamic and interactive session, featuring role-playing exercises and group discussions. The goal was to foster empathy and create strategies for resolving disagreements in a constructive manner. The workshop proved to be highly effective, and feedback from participants was overwhelmingly positive. Researchers reported a greater sense of understanding and respect for their colleagues, and collaboration improved significantly as a result. Another challenge Sarah encountered was the integration of new technologies and research methods. The rapid pace of innovation meant that researchers had to continuously adapt and update their approaches. This required ongoing training and support to ensure that everyone was on the same page. To address this, Sarah established a dedicated team of technology specialists and trainers who were responsible for providing ongoing support and guidance. They worked closely with researchers to help them navigate new tools and techniques, ensuring that everyone could take full advantage of the latest advancements. Despite these challenges, Sarah and her team achieved several remarkable triumphs. One of the most notable successes was the completion of the Galactic Environmental Restoration Project, a collaborative effort aimed at addressing ecological damage caused by industrial activities. The project involved a wide range of species and technologies, including advanced bioengineering techniques and planetary-scale environmental monitoring systems. The team worked tirelessly to develop and implement solutions, resulting in significant improvements in the health of affected ecosystems. The success of the project was celebrated with a grand ceremony, where Sarah and her team were recognized for their contributions. The ceremony highlighted the positive impact of their work and served as a reminder of the power of collaboration. In addition to the environmental project, Sarah's research into Deathworld species continued to yield valuable insights. One of the most exciting discoveries was the development of a new form of energy harnessed from the unique properties of Deathworld environments. This energy source showed great promise for addressing the galaxy's growing energy needs. Sarah's work in this area garnered widespread acclaim and led to new partnerships with energy research institutions. The potential applications of this technology were vast, and Sarah was eager to explore its possibilities further. As the Galactic Unity Initiative continued to gain traction, Sarah found herself increasingly involved in diplomatic and policy discussions. Her expertise and experience made her a valuable asset in shaping the future of interspecies relations and cooperation. One significant development was the formation of the Galactic Council on Interdisciplinary Research, a governing body dedicated to overseeing and supporting collaborative research efforts across the galaxy. Sarah was appointed as a key advisor to the Council, where she played a crucial role in shaping its policies and initiatives. The Council's first major initiative was the Galactic Research Exchange Program, which aimed to facilitate the exchange of researchers and knowledge between different species and institutions. The program was designed to promote cross-pollination of ideas and foster a deeper understanding of diverse scientific approaches. As the program launched, researchers from various species participated in exchange visits and collaborative projects. The program quickly gained popularity and demonstrated the value of diverse perspectives in advancing scientific knowledge. Despite the progress and successes, Sarah remained mindful of the ongoing challenges and the need for continuous improvement. She knew that the journey towards greater interspecies collaboration was an ongoing process, and she was committed to addressing any issues that arose. One evening, as Sarah reflected on the journey thus far, she received a message from Professor X9. The message contained an invitation to attend a special conference on the future of galactic science and cooperation. The conference promised to bring together some of the brightest minds from across the galaxy to discuss emerging trends and challenges. Sarah was excited about the opportunity to contribute to these important discussions and to continue shaping the future of galactic research. As the conference approached, Sarah prepared diligently, reviewing the latest developments and formulating ideas for her presentation. She was eager to share her experiences and insights with her colleagues and to learn from their perspectives. The conference was a dynamic and stimulating event featuring keynote speeches, panel discussions, and interactive sessions. Sarah's presentation was met with enthusiastic feedback, and she was inspired by the innovative ideas and solutions presented by other speakers. One of the most thought-provoking discussions focused on the ethical implications of advanced technologies and their impact on different species. The conversation highlighted the importance of considering diverse perspectives and ensuring that technological advancements were used responsibly. Sarah participated actively in the discussion, sharing her experiences and advocating for the inclusion of ethical considerations in research and policymaking. The exchange of ideas was invigorating, and Sarah left the conference with a renewed sense of purpose and optimism. As she looked out at the stars once again, Sarah felt a deep sense of fulfillment. The journey had been challenging, but it had also been incredibly rewarding. The successes, the collaborations, and the lessons learned had all contributed to a brighter future for the galaxy. With a heart full of hope and a mind brimming with ideas, Sarah Johnson continued her journey through the galaxy, dedicated to building bridges, fostering understanding, and embracing the endless possibilities that lay ahead. The adventure was far from over, and she was ready to face whatever challenges and triumphs the future would bring. In the aftermath of the Galactic Council on Interdisciplinary Research Conference, the galaxy was abuzz with excitement and anticipation. The ideas and initiatives discussed at the conference were set to reshape the future of interspecies collaboration and scientific advancement. Sarah Johnson, now a prominent figure in the field, found herself at the heart of these transformative developments. One of the most ambitious projects to emerge from the conference was the Galactic Knowledge Exchange Network, GKN, a comprehensive platform designed to facilitate the sharing of research, data, and expertise across species and institutions. The network aimed to create a centralized repository of knowledge and to foster real-time collaboration on scientific projects. Sarah was appointed as the lead coordinator for the GKN project, a role that required her to navigate complex interspecies dynamics and to manage the technical and logistical aspects of the network. The challenge was immense, but Sarah was enthusiastic about the potential of the project to revolutionize the way knowledge was shared and utilized across the galaxy. The initial phase of the GKN project involved establishing the infrastructure and developing the technological frameworks necessary for seamless data exchange. This included designing secure data protocols, creating user-friendly interfaces, and ensuring compatibility with the diverse technological systems used by different species. To address these challenges, Sarah assembled a multidisciplinary team of experts, including engineers, programmers, and data scientists from various species. The team worked tirelessly to build and test the network, overcoming technical hurdles and integrating feedback from beta testers. One of the key innovations of the GKN was its use of adaptive communication algorithms, which allowed the platform to accommodate different communication styles and data formats. This was crucial for ensuring that researchers from diverse backgrounds could collaborate effectively and share their findings without barriers. As the network neared completion, Sarah organized a series of demonstration events to showcase its capabilities. These events brought together researchers, policymakers, and representatives from various institutions to explore the platform and provide feedback. The demonstrations were met with enthusiasm and interest, and the feedback was overwhelmingly positive. Researchers were excited about the prospect of having a centralized hub for their work, and the potential for cross-species collaboration was evident. With the successful launch of the GKN, Sarah turned her attention to another exciting initiative, the Galactic Innovation Incubator, GII. The GII was designed to support and accelerate the development of groundbreaking technologies and ideas by providing resources, mentorship, and funding to promising projects. The incubator aimed to nurture innovative solutions to pressing challenges and to foster a culture of creativity and experimentation. It was a collaborative effort that involved partnerships with research institutions, private companies, and government agencies. Sarah played a key role in shaping the vision and structure of the GII. She worked closely with stakeholders to define the goals of the incubator and to identify areas of focus. The incubator's initial projects included developing advanced environmental technologies, improving space travel efficiency, and exploring new methods for energy production. The GII quickly gained traction, attracting a diverse range of applicants and generating a buzz of excitement in the scientific community. Sarah and her team reviewed numerous proposals and selected a group of high-potential projects to support. One of the standout projects in the GII was a collaboration between a human-led team and a group of Bantuans. The project aimed to develop a new form of energy storage that could revolutionize power generation and distribution. The innovative technology combined human engineering expertise with Banchuan's advanced materials science, resulting in a groundbreaking solution with the potential to address energy challenges across the galaxy. Another notable project focused on improving space habitat design to enhance the well-being and productivity of long-duration space travelers. This project brought together experts from various species to design and test new habitat modules, incorporating features that address the diverse needs of different species. As the GII continued to support and showcase innovative projects, Sarah found herself immersed in a whirlwind of activity. She traveled frequently to attend meetings, review progress, and participate in project demonstrations. The pace was demanding, but the sense of purpose and excitement fueled her enthusiasm. Throughout this period, Sarah also continued to teach and mentor students in the Death World Studies program. Her classes were a highlight for many students, offering unique insights into human biology, culture, and adaptability. The program had grown significantly, and Sarah's role as a mentor and educator had become even more influential. One day, as Sarah was preparing for a lecture, she received an unexpected message from the Galactic Council. The message contained an invitation to attend a special summit on the future of intergalactic diplomacy and cooperation. The summit promised to bring together leaders and representatives from across the galaxy to discuss strategies for enhancing diplomatic relations and addressing shared challenges. Sarah was excited about the opportunity to contribute to these important discussions and to explore new avenues for collaboration. At the summit, Sarah participated in a series of high-level discussions and workshops. The conversations covered a wide range of topics, including conflict resolution, cultural exchange, and the role of science in diplomacy. One of the key themes of the summit was the importance of fostering mutual understanding and respect among species. Sarah shared her experiences and insights, emphasizing the value of empathy and open communication in building strong and lasting relationships. The summit also highlighted the need for continued innovation and adaptation in the face of evolving challenges. Sarah's work with the GKEN and GII was recognized as a model for successful interspecies collaboration and innovation. As the summit concluded, Sarah felt a renewed sense of optimism and determination. The discussions had reinforced her belief in the power of cooperation and the potential for positive change. Back at the Galactic University of Sciences, Sarah continued to drive forward with her initiatives and to inspire those around her. Her work had made a significant impact, and she was proud of the progress that had been made. In her personal life, Sarah found a balance between her professional commitments and her well-deserved downtime. She enjoyed exploring new cultures, engaging in leisure activities, and spending time with friends and colleagues. The galaxy was a vibrant and ever-changing place, full of possibilities and opportunities. Sarah Johnson had embraced her role as a catalyst for positive change, and she was excited to see where the journey would take her next. As she looked out at the stars, Sarah felt a deep sense of gratitude for the experiences and connections she had made. The future was bright, and she was ready to continue her adventure, forging new paths and creating a legacy of understanding and innovation for generations to come.